Alright guys, we're getting really close to a boil here. You can see the foam starting to break on top. So we'll be adding our hops here shortly, and this is going to be really good. It's taking a little bit longer to come to a boil because it is a little cold outside and the wind's blowing. So we'll talk to you soon. As you can see now, the boil has started, and if you get a good look over here, you can see how it's starting to separate the foam that was on top. So this is looking good. Okay guys, we're getting close towards the end of the boil here. We've already had our hops addition. At 60 minutes we put nugget in, as I told you. Then after 30 minutes we put another 1 ounce of nugget in. And we're coming up now, and in 9 minutes we're putting our third hop addition in, which is going to be Cascade, and that's 2 ounces of Cascade here in this one. Little off the chart for a robust porter, but it works, let me tell you. We're also going to be putting some Irish moss in, and it's going to be great. So we're about a half an hour outside the brew, then we're going to see the chilling process. So tune in here on Dave's Dreaded TV, and we're going to have a great brew. Alright guys, we're getting close to the end of the boil here. You can see the sun's starting to also set a little bit here. It's about 4 o'clock. We're actually down to we got the Irish moss in now. We got another 10 minutes to the last hop addition, which will go for 5 minutes, and then we'll start chilling, and we'll get video of that. So tune back in. Okay guys, look, we are 2 minutes away from the end of the boil. Now we've put our last hop addition in here, which is 2 ounces of Cascade. We talked about that earlier. Maybe a little eclectic for this type of porter, but I'm guaranteeing you it works. I've won several awards with this porter beer here. So what we're going to start here now is, after we get done with the boil, we're going to chill it. And we're going to let it just sit there and kind of settle first for a little bit, kind of clarify and everything settle down. Then we're going to start the chill process, and we'll get it from 210 to probably about 55 degrees in about 10 minutes. And I'll give you guys will get a video of this chilling mechanism, and you guys won't believe it. So stay tuned, and don't forget, later on at the end of this, we're going to give you the checklist, and we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts at the brewing at the end of this video. So we'll talk to you soon here on Dave's Dreaded TV. Okay, here we go now. We're actually starting a chilling process here. And what we have here is you have the boil kettle right here, and it's coming through this hose. Now if you touch this, it's actually about 210 degrees coming in. Then it goes through this chill zone. It's warm to the touch at the top, but it's cold at the bottom. We got some, I think, close to 55 degree temperature coming in from the garden hose. So that's the first portion of the chill. Then if you see, we go down this hose to our post chiller. And what this does, it's an ice bath with 10 foot of copper in here. And this will actually bring it down to the temperature we want. We control it with this valve right here, and you can control the flow going into the bucket, which then actually controls the temperature that you're getting. Now if you look over here into the actual fermentation bucket, I'm bringing it a little bit slow right now because I want it a little bit colder, but I can speed it up because we're actually below 58 degrees, as you see here. This is a thermometer. Usually I like to keep it about 58 to 60 degrees for lagers, so we're doing good there. So tune back in, we'll be pitching yeast here soon. Okay guys, here we are now. Everything's chilled down. We got it out at probably close to 62 to 60 degrees, which I like to, even though this is an ale, I prefer to actually get it a little bit colder than what you ferment at. Put the yeast in, let it warm up to actually get the yeast kicked off. It's just something I've always done, and I've had great luck with it. Now what we're getting ready to do is we're going to pitch some Y yeast, where we talked about earlier on, slap pack through that early in the day. You see how firm it is? It's ready to go. This is 1056, an American ale yeast. That's what we're going to be using. So I sterilized the knife, sterilized everything. We're going to pitch the yeast now. That's one. Make sure you get all the goodness out of there. Let's get the second one. Now, let me tell you what I'm going to be doing with this. Why you asked I have 10 gallons. Well, I always brew 10 gallons. But when you do a nice porter like this, one of the things we're going to do, this is more of a chocolate porter, and we're actually going to be doing cherries in 5 gallons of this. So you can have one regular chocolate porter and one chocolate cherry porter. So, guys, this is the end of the brew day today. We'll come back here in a little bit. We're going to do do's and don'ts. We're going to talk about the checklist for brewing, and then after this video, the next one will be when we transfer to the secondary. So this is Dave's Dreaded TV signing off. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with the checklist, and we'll go from there. Well, here we are, guys, at the end of the brew day. It was a great, successful day here. You know, Sunday, the 30th of January, warmed up to about 42 degrees today. Great brew day, great brew day. Let me kind of recap what we did. We got everything set up. You saw me actually talk about the grain and how I got the grain together. We brought the system out and got everything ready to roll. We brewed a robust porter today, an all-grain recipe. It was a great brew day. We went through all the processes, and you'll see those earlier in this video. Now, a couple things I want to cover off with you here before we leave today is checklist of things to do when you're brewing, especially in cold weather. So what we had today was, it started off about 31 degrees this morning, so it was a bit chilly. So you want to make sure, one, you have all your grain that you need, two, all your hops that you need, and three, your yeast. Those are main. Every brew day you need those. Then you need to make sure you have a really good filter, especially if your water may be a little chlorinated like it is during the winter months. So then after that, you want to make sure you have great music, which we had today. We were listening to Cirrus, we were listening to little blues, we were listening to little classic vinyl. It was great. Plenty of good beer. We had a little Kentucky ale. We had some Pyramid. Great brew day. So remember, when you're brewing in cold weather like this, keep as much of the stuff inside as you possibly can, because it will definitely be warmer on your hands, and use as little water outside as you need to. But I can tell you what, we had a great brew day today here. It's the pre-Super Bowl, Dave's dreaded pre-Super Bowl robust porter. It should be ready in about 3 weeks, and you're going to see everything as we go on forward with the transfer to the secondary, and also the kegging and the bottling. But let me tell you, you guys brew hard, and we'll see you again at Dave's Dreaded TV.